Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, the old captain here, and we have a video request. And as always, if you have a question, or you need guidance, or wisdom, or leadership, because everyone in your life has been lying to you the entire time, including your parents, your teachers, you gotta come to Asshole Consulting, because if you want the truth, hire an asshole. Dear Cap, I would like to make sure my younger brother wife's up for a girl he has been dating for 4 years. I think that she is the most marriageable woman he will probably ever date, as they met when she was a first-year student teaching, and he was in second-year accounting. She is an 8, feminine, and I'm 95% sure that my brother was her first. Now that they are both finished their studies, she is clearly waiting for the proposal, but my brother has no intention of marrying anytime soon. He wants to work for at least 5 years and maybe enjoy some strange on the side with the money that he will be making. She is considering working for a foreign country, dropping it as a hint that my brother needs to make a decision. He is something of a natural, but not red-pilled. He doesn't understand that uncorrupted women are impossible to find out in the wild. Here in South Africa, it is very unfashionable for young white women to date older men. If you don't meet your wife during university, you will have to take your pick out of the alpha widows that remain. That's kind of interesting concept there, alpha widows, because what, everyone gets killed in South Africa? I've accepted that I will never find a marriageable woman given my circumstances. My brother has gifts with women that I don't have, hair for example. I feel that the burden of bloodline continuation should fall on his shoulders. You know what, fuck that. Okay, we'll address that later. I am prepared to help him financially to support family creation. I want nephews, nieces, and I don't want to watch my parents grow old without any grandchildren to their name. I have spoken a little to my brother, but I've held off on anything too heavy. He is a victim of the degenerate culture and doesn't rank wife and kids highly as life goals. How do I convince him to follow this traditional path with his girl before years pass and she gets sucked onto the carousel? Cheers, Greg. Greg, let's read this again. I feel that the burden of the bloodline... Well, let's start here. I have accepted that I will never find a marriageable woman given my circumstances. My brother has gifts with women that I don't have, hair for example. I feel that the burden of bloodline continuation should fall on his shoulders. I am prepared to help him financially to support family creation. I want nieces and nephews, and I don't want to watch my parents grow old without any grandchildren to their name. Greg, dude, not your fucking life. Okay? Number one, you don't control your brother, right? Before we go into actually... it could be this is the best woman to ever happen to him. But before we do that, you better learn first, this is not your life. Okay? This is your brother's life. Now, you may advise him, you may make arguments, and they could be 100% right, but in the end, you don't control his life. And you don't get nephews or nieces unless he decides you get nephews or nieces. And it's fuck the your parents want to have grandchildren. That's not up to it. That's not up to you or your parents. That's up to your brother. So let's delineate very clearly where your sovereignty or your control over his life starts and ends. You don't have any of it. You control your life. You don't control his. Now, that being said, I'm inclined to agree with you if you've made these decisions or you're a little bit wiser, that you're able to size up this girl and if she's marriage material. But from the sounds of it, sounds like your brother's an alpha. And it's in every guy's genetic makeup to want to go and bang as many chicks as possible. And if he just got out of university, he's 22, 23. So he may not be ready at this particular point in time. Now, if this is the case, you have to make the argument. I would strongly recommend that he read some of Roosh's stuff, the more recent stuff. Have him read Roosh's old stuff and then his newer stuff. Because Roosh, like any other guy, they go out there, they sow the wild oats. They bang as many chicks as possible. They realize these girls are a pain in the ass. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, it really is important that you settle down. Like the real goal is to find a quality girl. And especially if he's been younger, he probably thinks that girls like this are average. Like this girl is like an average girl. You got to explain to him this is not the case. Now, you're going to face a paradox. There's telling people what things are like. And then there's them living it and knowing it for themselves. And that's the paradox your young brother is facing right now. Right now, he's living it up. He's got girls probably throwing themselves at him. He's got a, why would I get married? He has the whole world telling him not to get married. All the empirical evidence indicates towards doing that and not settling down. You have to convince him that it would be worth it with this particular girl and convince him that the other girls out there are not worth it. And that's hard to do unless he goes out there and does it himself. Because right now, his hormones, his biology, his genetics, society is telling him, go and sow your wild. There's plenty more women where that came from. He's like, yeah, this is average. You got to convince him otherwise and prove that you know what you're talking about. Ergo, reading some more of the stuff, neo-masculinity, some of Rush's stuff, my stuff as well, but it's sprinkled here and there, and thus this video. And I'll tell him right now, dude, Greg's younger brother, your brother is probably right. There is probably not going to be another opportunity that comes like this in a long-ass time. And you have to, like, really, I mean, I wish you dated more to realize that this girl is probably, you're not going to find another catch like that. But in the end, it's going to be, Greg, it's going to be your young brother's decision. And so, younger brother Greg, I hope Greg is showing you, but Greg's younger brother, you know, please read this. I'm not joking, all right? Don't take it from your older brother. Take it from me. You really have got to go and figure out whether or not this girl is just common, which statistically likely isn't. And you're not going to find much better. Talk to your friends, talk to some older people, find out what they've done, compare and contrast what type of girls are out there, even though you haven't dated them, versus your current girlfriend here. And maybe you would have to get. And here's the other thing: when you do this, you're gonna have to give up any ideas that you're gonna go and chase some tail and sow your wild oats and all that other stuff. So, I'm just some guy on the internet. Your brother's just some old guy who's bald, and you probably are doing rather well. But if your brother is right, you're gonna regret down the road not sealing the deal. Now, you could have a really good conversation with it. Say, look, I'm not financially ready to get married. I know South Africa sucks in terms of its economy. You probably would like to build up some money, and here's the other thing. She's only a teacher. I don't know if it's like that over in South Africa, but teachers aren't really reliable. I'm not talking in terms of personality. I'm talking in terms of money. Teachers here are pretty kind of low-end, low-quality caliber type of people. I'd be a little suspicious of a teacher because you're supposed to do all the accounting. She'll go teach 2 or 3 years, then she's going to become a mother. Oh my God, why the fuck did you go to school? That kind of thing. And it sounds like she's got a plan, like she wants to she wants to have her kids, and and that seems a little controlling as well. Now, without knowing these two people more intimately, I can't figure out who's right, who's wrong, who's got what ulterior motives and aims. But yes, most definitely Greg's younger brother, you are going to want to evaluate this and make sure that you just don't give this girl up if she is that rare. But at the same time, you may know your brother could be wrong. But the larger overall point is, Greg, you can only make your case, okay? That's all you can do. You're not entitled to jack shit, okay? Your life does not matter. It's his life. And if you really love your brother, which I think you do, you will get rid of all of your desires on what you want out of your brother to get married and realize that's his own life that he has 100% sovereignty over. So, yeah, go have a chat. Dude, nothing wrong with chatting. Have a heart. Hey, look, brother, I wish somebody else, can't hurt, especially if you're polite about it. I think your younger brother would be fine. Show him this video. But you all got to do some inventory. You all got to take some inventory, do some analysis, do some self-reflection, and figure this out. Because, yeah, there is a chance this will be the one that got away, and your life will be immeasurably worse off. But, yeah, maybe not. Again, I don't like teachers, and I don't like gals pushing you. That's the other thing. So, best of luck to all of you. Hoodles.